In the previous lesson, we learned all about these trig identities, the reciprocal identities from our previous unit, the angles and unit circle. The tangent and cotangent identities, those were also taught in the previous lesson. We called them the quotient identities, but they're also sometimes referred to as just the straight up tangent and cotangent identities. Then we also learned about the Pythagorean identities. And now these Pythagorean identities can come in different forms. And so that's what I want to take a look at first. So if we take a look at that first Pythagorean identity where it's cosine squared of theta plus sine squared of theta equals 1. I can change the format of those equations to have it so it's equal to sine squared of theta, and then I can also change it so that it's equal to cosine squared of theta just by either subtracting cosine squared from both sides or subtracting the sine squared of theta from both sides. Now, because of the fact that we're using subtraction, order does matter. So it has to be written as 1 minus cosine squared of theta in order for that to be equal to sine squared of theta. And same thing goes for cosine squared. So let's just pause the video right now and take a look at what the other forms for the Pythagorean identities would be for secant squared and cosecant squared, those two other identities. So here are the other forms for both the 1 plus tangent squared of theta equals secant squared of theta, and then also cotangent squared of theta plus 1 equals cosecant squared of theta. Please make sure to include all of these different forms of these Pythagorean identities onto the back of your unit circle so they're easier to reference. Now, the reason why we wanted to go over these different forms is because of the next topic that we're going to cover, which is on simplifying identities, trig identities. So we came up with a list of different strategies to try, and I want to just highlight two of the ones that seem to be used most frequently and the ones that seem to get the best results. So the first one I want to highlight is substitute using an identity. So anytime you see an expression that has a squared, that would typically send us right into looking at the Pythagorean identities to try and simplify that expression. The other one I want to direct your attention to is also rewriting the expression in terms of sine and cosine. So if there aren't any squareds, then I want you to change every trig function into being sine and cosine. So if it's already sine, leave it as sine, and if it's already cosine, leave it as cosine. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of these examples below using those strategies and the identities that we have. So this first one is sine of theta, cotangent of theta, and secant of theta. And so what I want to do is try and simplify this expression. It's kind of simple, similar to combining of like terms back in algebra. So I don't see any squareds. So then I'm going to use the second strategy that I highlighted for you by rewriting the expression in terms of sine and cosine. So since that first trig function is sine of theta, I'm just going to leave it as sine of theta. But I'm going to turn cotangent of theta into cosine of theta over sine of theta. So this is using that quotient identity for cotangent. And then I'm going to turn secant of theta into 1 over cosine using the reciprocal identity for that. Because I'm noticing that we're using fractions, I'm going to go ahead and turn that sine of theta into a fraction as well. And when we multiply fractions, we multiply straight across. But I want you to notice that we can make a bunch of giant ones within this expression. So the sine of theta in the numerator and the sine of theta in the denominator can cancel out. And the cosine of theta in the numerator and the cosine of theta in the denominator can also cancel out, making giant ones. So this will then simplify my expression to just 1. Let's go ahead and look at number 2. When I look at this expression, I see squareds. So that's immediately going to send me to look at my Pythagorean identities. And I'm going to notice that I have tangent squared of theta plus 1. And if I look back here, I know that tangent squared of theta plus 1 is equal to secant squared of theta. So I'm going to simplify this to say secant squared of theta minus secant squared of theta from the original expression. And that's just going to simplify to 0 because they cancel each other out. Looking at number 3, I would hope that you see right away that you have cosine squared of theta plus sine squared of theta. So that's the original Pythagorean identity that we looked at, and that's equivalent to 1. Whoops. So really I have 1 minus 1, and that's equal to 0. Number 4. Again, I don't see any squareds in this one, so I'm going to change everything into sines and cosines. So I have the cosine of theta times 1 over sine of theta all over cotangent of theta, which is cosine of theta divided by sine of theta. Now, if I simplify that numerator, remember, whenever you're working with fractions and multiplying, you multiply straight across. That numerator turns into cosine of theta over sine of theta, which ends up being exactly the same thing that I have in the denominator. So this makes a gigantic 1 and cancels everything out. So this expression also is equal to 1. Now I want to make a disclaimer. Not every expression, when you're simplifying, simplifies to just either 1 or 0. It could simplify to just one single trig function. So why do we need to know about how to simplify different expressions? And that's because we're going to use them eventually to get into solving with trig equations. But I want to just zoom in on this right here. We need to verify that one expression does in fact equal another. And so when you're doing some verifying, there's things that you want to look out for. First off, you only want to transform one side of the equation. So we're only going to look at one side of the expression, or the equation I mean, and work to simplify that. Again, a strategy I want to share with you is look for the side of the equation that's most complicated looking, okay? Sometimes it contains the most amount of trig functions. Sometimes it contains the most amount of operations. So definitely look at the side that has the most amount of content, okay, and looks more complicated. So as I zoom in here on this example, the side to me that looks the most complicated is the left side. So I'm going to go ahead and transform just the left side, trying to get it equal to cosine of theta. So in this expression, I notice this right here, 1 minus sine squared of theta. What triggered my eyes to look there was because of that squared. So I'm going to go and look at my Pythagorean identities. And I'm going to look specifically at the alternative forms that I asked you to put on the back of your unit circle. And you'll see that 1 minus sine squared of theta is actually equal to the cosine squared of theta. So I have cosine squared of theta times secant of theta. All right, so now that I took care of that squared, I still have a squared, but that's okay. I got rid of some operations. Now I want to turn everything into sine and cosine. So I'm going to take a look at the reciprocal identities. I'm going to turn that secant of theta into 1 over the cosine of theta. I'm going to multiply that by cosine squared. And since I'm multiplying fractions, I'm going to go ahead and put this over 1 and multiply straight across. That's going to simplify to cosine squared of theta over cosine of theta. And I want you to look at this problem as it being similar to x squared over x. When you're dividing, it reduces the exponent power by 1 in this example. And that's the same thing that's happening here. There's a 1 exponent right there. So it's going to go back to our exponent properties and reduce it down. So it's only going to be cosine of theta. And that's ultimately what I wanted to try and show you, is that this expression is in fact equal to the cosine of theta using the Pythagorean identity and the reciprocal identities as well. Again, just pointing out, I only worked on the left side of this equation. I never touched and did any work on the right side.